Hi guys, just come down from having a shower, just put a nightie on. I'm not going to get dressed again. There's no point. It's just gone 9, about 9:05 now. Skippy's gone up into the bath. I've just had a shower. Snoop sat down here on the floor because he knows it's going to be apple pie time soon. And I don't know if Skippy's going to want some ice cream when she comes down. We'll find out when she comes down. So, I'm going to do the washing up. I preloaded the bowl before I went upstairs. That's got all the cutlery in it at the moment. So we'd get that done. And I've got to do my sandwiches as well tonight. I haven't done my sandwiches yet, so that's another thing I've got to do. So get this. Ooh. And try and get the bow done. And we're there. Right, I think the wind might have dropped a bit. The back door was open when I came down because the boys been up the garden again. And it didn't feel quite so breezy, so fingers crossed it might have eased up a little bit. Right, how's that? Is that okay there? Yeah, I think that's good, isn't it? Right, let me grab my gloves. I'll tell you what's been going on today. So I got up as normal for work, so I was up about 5 o'clock this morning. Got myself all sorted out for work. Left for work, it was blowing a gale. It wasn't raining, it was blowing a gale. I did nip up the garden before I left to try and bring in the bathroom rug because that was on the line, it'd been on the line all night. But I went up there and it was still soaking wet, so I just left it. I did look at my phone before I went and it said it was going to be a nice day today. So I thought, okay, well maybe I can get it in when I come home from work. So off I go to work. Very windy. A lot of road closures at the moment. Seem to be a lot of road works going on. And they don't seem to just put traffic lights up anymore. If they're going to do anything on the roads now, they seem to close the roads. So everywhere you go, there seems to be road closures everywhere, and you have to keep picking a different route. And I had that today. I had 1, 2, 3 road closures and 1 set of traffic lights. And when I came back, there was an extra road closure. So yeah, it's just an absolute nightmare at the moment. I know they got to do the work, I appreciate that, but it's just, yeah. Years ago they used to just put some traffic lights up and you could get through, but don't seem to do that anymore. They just close the road every time. Anyway, so I did get to work eventually. I wasn't late, but I didn't get there with a lot of spare time. But I did get there eventually. What I tend to do at work before I leave on a Friday is I get a traffic cone and I put it up in the parking bay where I had the van on charge. So hopefully when I come back first thing Monday morning, the space is still there. It was today, it worked. But when I came out this evening, I got my van out of the parking space and somebody's nicked the traffic cone. So I had to find an old wooden pallet and I've laid that in the bay. So I'm hoping that's going to deter people from parking in it. I'll have to see tomorrow when I get to work if it's still there. Or if somebody's nicked the pallet. So, yeah. Anyway, the day at work was quite good. I'd left a car on my ramp on the Friday, which I finished off this morning. So that was nice. So straight in and on the job. Once I'd got that one finished, they gave me a 2-seater sports car to do, which I don't particularly like doing because they're very low to the ground. And I have trouble getting in and out of them. It's an age thing and my joints, I'm not that supple anymore, guys. And so the service manager apologised when he gave it to me because he knows I struggle with them because of my mobility issues. But I did it, I got it done, but it always takes me a little bit longer. So I did that one, and that was quite a big job. That was a 3rd service and an MOT and a health check. I didn't find much wrong with that one, but there was a lot to do on that one. So I did that one, that was fine. And the next job was a sales car. Now this sales car is sales sold. It's one I don't know if anybody's looked at it before, but I was asked just to look at the wheels and do a service and an MOT on it. So I had a look at the wheels first because they suspected it might have some damage to the wheels. They were right, it did. The car's obviously driven through a few potholes and the 2 front wheel rims are buckled. So it needs them repaired. You can actually get wheel rims straightened. There are specialist firms who will repair alloy wheel rims and they straighten them out for you. It's cheaper than buying new wheels, and if our sales department can save some money by putting it out to be repaired, then that's what they do. So I've got the wheels off. They've got to be sent away tomorrow. I've got to find a spare set of wheels to put on the car in the meantime so we can get out of the workshop. I haven't done that bit yet because I'm still doing the service side, but once I've finished the service side, I'm just going to have to throw it outside. So I was doing that this afternoon, and that's still on my ramp for this. That was on my ramp when I left this evening, so that should still be there for me tomorrow morning. The drive home was fairly uneventful other than all the road closures, picking my way around all these road closures. I think I'm going to give up on those for the moment and pick on the A14 again, because at least I know it shouldn't be closed and I should be able to get home all right. But yeah, it's just every night now it seems like there's a road closed that wasn't closed in the morning. Never mind. So I got home in good time. Skippy took the boys out for a walk and she got blown to bits. It has been exceedingly windy. It did throw it down with rain in Cambridge about 4 o'clock, and I think I hooked that on the back bumper of the car because I brought it back to Lavenham. So luckily enough, I had phoned up Skippy before I set off home, asking her if she could bring the bathroom rug in that's on the washing line, because I didn't want it getting wet if it rained. And so she did that. She got it in and it was lovely and dry. And yes, I brought the rain back with me, so I'm pleased she did get it in. So that's back up in the bathroom on the floor. So the bathroom's back to normal. So that's good. What else can I tell you guys? I haven't been out anywhere today. It's a normal day. Back from work, dinner. We had, what did we have? We had chicken out of the slow cook. We had mashed potato and carrots. So that was tonight's meal. We've got some more chicken to have possibly tomorrow. Then we've got some mince. What else? We've got sausages. So we've got quite a bit to get through. So we'll delve our way through that lot. Sandwich wise, I think I've got ham and cheese. So that will keep me going. If I run out of ham, I'll double up on the cheese. I love my cheese. So yeah, so today was a good day. It went reasonably well, no disasters. I've got quite a bit to do tonight. There's quite a few plates. I don't know why. I can't understand why we've got so many plates, but we have got lots of plates to do. Right, that and that. That one there. Yeah, right. I did find another radio station playing Christmas music today, so there's 2 stations now. One's a Cambridge station because I'm working in Cambridge, and the other one is that Magic Christmas. Yes, Magic Christmas. That's the other one. So yes, there's been a few people at work go, no, not already. But I do have it on, but I have it low so it doesn't drown the whole workshop off. So it's just around my bay. You can hear it if you're working where I work. But yeah, a lot of people can say, what's that? Surely not already. We've got to have Halloween yet, haven't we? Oh, this is from last night because we didn't do the washing up last night. I was wondering why we've got so many plates and bowls, but that makes sense. It's last night's meal and the apple pies we had last night. Apple pies and custard and apple pies and ice cream. That's what all the washing is. It's me trying to think how we've got so many plates, but that's why. They're left over from yesterday. I didn't do a wash last night because I didn't consider there was enough worth doing, so let's make a bigger wash for tonight. I think there's almost in there. I've got so much cutlery, it's falling out of the cutlery tray. Right, that'll have to do. Right, and that one's done. In there. Trying to think of other things to talk about, guys. That's why I went quiet. Must be something I can talk about. I'll put some videos on today, obviously, for you. There was one about holidays, Brancaster Beach. Brancaster, my favourite beach. Oh, it's a wonderful beach. Skippy hasn't been there yet. Now, I will get Skippy up to Brancaster Beach and show Brancaster Beach at some stage. Won't be in the foreseeable future because obviously it's there's lots of things happening. But maybe next year I'll take her up to Brancaster Beach, or maybe even do a winter walk up there. But it's a fair drive from where I live up to Brancaster, Norfolk coast. But it'd make a lovely weekend out. Going up there, maybe do the bed and breakfast up there and go on the beach. That'd be really nice. I should imagine it was probably a little bit windy on the coast today because it was certainly windy inland. So I hate to think what it was like on these on the open coast today. I bet that was a bit windy today. There's a big bridge at Ipswich called the Orwell Bridge. And whenever it's windy, it always gets closed. And when I used to work at Ipswich, it was always a nightmare when they did that because you got diverted all over the place. Everything was chock-a-block. And you've got all the container traffic coming out of Felixstowe coming down the A14 going over the Orwell Bridge. Well, they can't do that when they shut the bridge. So they all have to go through Ipswich and it is really bad. Really bad. Right, let's start on the plates. I'll do the breadboard first. I've got 2 breadboards, but I've only got one that I have to wash up tonight. If I do that one first, that ends up being like a backrest for all the plates, and that makes it a lot easier to stack them up. So that's what I'm going to do. Yeah, Brancaster Beach brings back so many lovely memories, childhood memories, going there as a child. With my 2 sisters, my mum and dad, and our dog, and a windbreak. And we'd go for the day. We'd set off early in the morning, and you used to have to queue up to get in there. And now, if the tide was in, you had to wait for the tide to go out so you could get into the car park because the road leading to the car park would get submerged. So you had to, if you got there and the tide was in, you had to wait for the tide to go out before you could get into the car park. I remember that. We never got caught out by it, but I remember us having to wait a few times to get into the car park because it was, the road was still flooded. There is another place fairly close to where I live called Colchester, and just outside Colchester is an island called Mersey Island. And to get to Mersey Island, you can drive. It's a road, but I think they call it the Strood. I don't know why, but it's called the Strood. And that is tidal, so when the tide comes in, the Strood is cut off. Now, part way along the Strood is like a tower. And if you get caught out, if you get your car stuck there, what you have to do is wade to the tower and climb up the tower and wait to be rescued. Now, when I worked in Colchester, because I used to work for Colchester Toyota many years ago, and I worked on a car. It was a Toyota Corolla Verso, so it was a big Toyota. And this car came in for a service, and it was a big service, so it was all the filters, the air filters, pollen filters, oil and filter, fuel filter, everything had to be done. And I took the air filter box top off to get to the air filter, and the air filter was white. Almost looked like it got talcum powder on it. And I couldn't work out what it was. I kept looking at it thinking, well, what's this? Where's this come from? It's all white inside. And I said to the foreman about it, I said, this is strange. What do you reckon that is? And he came over and he had a look. He said, where does the customer live? So I got the job card out and I said, Mersey. He said, seawater, that's salt. He said, you put your little finger in that powder and just taste it on the tip of your tongue. He said, that's salt. And I tried it and it was. And what they'd done is they'd driven across the Strood when it was obviously still got water on it, and they'd sucked water up into the engine. Luckily enough, they hadn't done any damage. But once the water had dried out, it had left the salt inside the air filter box. That's what I could see. All this white powder was salt. And it wasn't long after that that the same car came back in making a noise. And they'd done it again. And it was a lady driver. And she had gone across the Strood while it was still flooded. and she sucked water up again, but this time she'd actually done some damage to the engine. She'd actually bent the con rods, and they had to have the engine rebuilt. It wasn't under warranty because it was self-imposed. They'd done it themselves, and it wasn't covered by insurance, so they had to pay to have the engine repaired. And it was repaired. We didn't replace the engine, we repaired it, put new con rods in it, and put it all back together, and it was okay. And then she did it again. The lady did it again, but this time she put a con rod through the side of the engine. They got rid of the car after that. I don't know what they bought after that. Probably bought a submarine, I think, because she did it 3 times. First time she got away with it was when I spotted the powder in the air filter box. The second time is when she bent the con rod, and the third time, which wasn't lucky for her, she put the con rod through the side of the engine. So yeah, we didn't see him again after that. The car, I don't know what happened to the car. I don't know that we repaired it. I can't remember us putting an engine in it, but I know it was sat in the yard waiting for an engine, but I can't remember seeing it get done. So whether they scrapped it, I don't know. But yeah, not good, not good. An expensive mistake. I've done that before, my chimney, where my chimney's got a snorkel, so I can go through deep water. And if you go through really deep water, the chimney will actually start to float. It starts to float away. You just have to keep the revs up, keep the throttle on, and it'll scrabble a grip, and you'll get out of it. But sometimes when you go into these flooded lanes, you'll find other cars in there that haven't managed to get through. And when you drive past them, the water outside the car is just as deep inside. You imagine what that's done to that car. That's wrecked it, absolutely wrecked it. It's in all the wiring, it's in all the seats, everywhere. Absolutely everywhere. You hate to think what the engines are like. But yes, can do a huge amount of damage. People just don't seem to realise how much damage it can do until it's too late. And it writes a lot of cars off. It does. Some insurance companies will cover you for it, but not many. I think because it's you were the silly person to actually drive into the flood. You didn't have to drive into it. And yeah, expensive game when you get it wrong, guys. Especially knowing how expensive new engines can be. I suppose if it's an old car, it's not too much of a loss because the car probably wasn't worth a lot. But if it's a fairly new car, oh my goodness me. Yeah, especially one of these that you've got on these 3-year terms, you have it for 3 years, then back it. Imagine doing that to one of those and destroying the engine, and you having to pay for a new engine. Oh my goodness. Where I used to live, my previous property when I was still married, my next door neighbour, he bought himself a Land Rover Discovery, and he told me he'd got this car coming. And I said to him, no, I said, you don't want to buy one of those, you'll have nothing but trouble. He said, oh, no, it's all right, I've got 5 years warranty, everything's covered. He said, it's coming next week. I said, all right. I said, don't say I didn't warn you. So he gets this car, and it was everything I said to him it would be. It was so unreliable, so many things wrong with it, lots of issues. He pointed out lots of issues before he took delivery of the car. And once he actually got the car, they hadn't put any of these faults right, so he had to take it back. And they gave him a courtesy car to drive around in. And he was in that for about a month before they got his car back to him. And it still wasn't right. They still hadn't rectified all the faults. But he carried on using it until eventually he just got so fed up having to constantly take it back and complaining about all these faults that he'd told them about when he first saw the car that he wanted them sorted out. And eventually he backed the car, but rather than back it totally, they did him a deal on another Discovery, so he got another one, slightly newer. I think it was about 12 months newer than the one he'd already got. So he went for Discovery number 2. Well, what a disaster that was. I knew he should have got his money back straight away. His wife used to do the school run, as mums do. They get all the children in the car, and he had a lot of children. He had 4 boys, and so they squeezed into this car. Off they go for the morning run to take them all to school. And she got about half a mile away from where he lives, and there's a roundabout. And she got onto the roundabout, and the car stopped dead. just stopped. She was halfway across the roundabout and the car stopped, just like she'd stalled it. And she tried to start it again on the key, it wouldn't start. And so it blocked the road up. This was first thing in the morning, like rush hour. All the mums were taking children to school, people going to work. It was manic. And so everybody tried to push the car off the road. They couldn't move it, it was locked up. So then the police turned up, and the police used a Range Rover and they dragged it off the road to the side of the road, and then they had to get a recovery truck to pick the car up, and that had to drag it off the road onto the back of the lorry and take it back to, and I believe it was Land Rover Colchester that sold it to them. And I believe the car went back there. So he told me that evening, because I didn't know all of this had happened, because I didn't work there, I worked out of the town. So when I get back, he came to see me. I could see he'd got another courtesy car out the front. And he came to see me, he said, we've got a problem with the car again. I said, what's happened this time? He said, the wife was taking the children to school this morning. He said, and it locked up. He said the car wouldn't move. He said they had to get the police out and they had to drag it off the road. He told me the story, but he didn't know at that time what the problem was. He said it had gone back to Land Rover and they were looking at it. So it wasn't until the weekend that I saw him again and he told me all about it. And he told me that the car had got halfway across the roundabout and they weren't sure, Land Rover wasn't sure whether it was the crankshaft on the engine had snapped and that had caused the gearbox to seize up, or whether the gearbox had seized up and that had caused the crankshaft to snap. But whatever way, he ended up having to have a new gearbox and a new engine, and the bill for that, fortunately the car had warranty on it, because he did say how much is it all going to cost. £25,000, guys, to put that right, if he'd had to pay for it, but because he'd got warranty on it, they had to put it right. So he had a new engine and a new gearbox, and then he got rid of the car. he decided enough was enough, so he got rid of that, and he bought himself a Audi Q5, and as far as I know, I'm not living there anymore. He's still got the car, and I think he's happy with it. But yes, he had a disaster with his Land Rovers. Now, I had mentioned Land Rover's not been the most reliable cars before, but one of my subscribers sent me a message saying they'd got a Discovery and it was the most reliable car they'd ever had. So I'm not going to argue with them. I'm only speaking from knowing and being in the trade all these years. What I know, and I know they're not a particularly good car. You pay a lot of money for them and you do get an awful lot of faults. But put me right, if you've got a Land Rover and it's the best car you've ever had, you let me know. But it's not usually the case, guys. I'll stick to my guns. Right, we are nearly there. My drain is full. I haven't got much room for anything else. I've only got the dog's dishes and the sieve or the colander to go. There is a saucepan on the stove that needs washing, but I won't have enough room to do that as well. So I'll leave that soaking because it's already got some water in it. I'll leave that to soak and probably do that tomorrow. Might do that in the morning before I go to work. Right, so this is all done. There we go. So where can I put this one? So we go there, that one on. Right, that's the best I can do, guys. And now I've got to do the sieve and the dog's dishes just to finish off. So what's the time now? 9:30 now, so that's not bad. That's good timing for apple pies, I think. But don't forget, I've still got to do my sandwiches. And tomorrow's Tuesday, isn't it? It's Terrible Tuesday tomorrow, so watch this space, see what goes wrong tomorrow. Today was not a bad day at all. It did go quite quick. This morning went really quick. So that was lovely, but yeah. I can't hear, there's some funny music from the front room. I think Skippy's on watching YouTube or something like that. Right, how am I going to do this? It's all a little bit precarious, guys, but I might have to wipe some of this up because I haven't got any room left on the drainer. last one. Snoop's still staying on the floor beside me. He's watching me. There we go, all done. Last one done. Right. Put those there. Oh, right, that's there. Right, towel. Right, sandwich time, guys. I'll move the camera over here. You'll see Snoopy. Can you see him laying there? He's watching me. He's got his beady eye on me. See what I'm up to. He knows the apple pies will be coming out in a minute. So, oops. Right, so bread, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I need another loaf out for tomorrow. Be for toast tomorrow. There'll be a couple of slices left in here and then another slice out there. That'd be perfect. I'll need the bread again for tomorrow evening because tomorrow when I do the sandwiches this time tomorrow will be cheese. Yes. Right, breadboard. Let's get these sandwiches done. Snoop's having a drink. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4. Felt a lot colder today. There was one of the blokes at work still had his shorts on and a t-shirt, and it looked like he was shivering at one stage. It was a bit fresh. I'm pleased I had my fleece on today. Certainly needed it today. Right, that goes there. What have we got? Yes, we've got ham and that one. Right, I need a knife. Oh, you Snoop. So that one and that one. Snoop's not going to be too far away, not when there's food about. He always lives in hope. Don't you, Snoopers? This is that lovely time of day again, the time of day I love. Just very quiet, peaceful, relaxed, chilling out. Looking forward to the weekend again. Don't forget it's that really busy weekend coming up, guys. Oh my goodness. I'm looking forward to it in a way to get it done and dusted and out of the way, but dreading it in another way because it is going to be so hectic. But once it's done, it's done. And then obviously I'm going to lose Skippy on the Sunday, which is not so good. But there you go. Right, that's done. Right, where's the open here? There it is. Snoop is poised. He's like a coiled spring. He's ready to leap. If anything hits that floor, Snoop's going to be there first. Sooty's joined him. Sooty's down here as well now. They're both looking at me. Snoop's licking his lips and Sooty's just staring at the floor. Right, hang on. Oh, that looks lovely. Right, what I tend to do, I cut, these are quite big slices of meat, as you can see, and I'm going to cut them lengthways, like that, lengthways, and then I do one slice in each sandwich, but I put the straight cut to the edge of the sandwich so it overlaps in the middle, and that way you get better coverage. That's what I've always done. It works quite well. So I'll do a long cut all the way through from top to bottom. There you go, it's all done. I don't know if you can see what I'm up to. Let's come back a little bit. And we'll get the first slice. There you go. And then I'm going to put that straight edge to the edge of the sandwich. I'll peel off all the fat. I don't want the fat, but Snoopy will definitely have the fat. Sooty gets the next one. Same again. Peel off the fat. There you go, Soot. Soot's got that one. Straight edge again to the edge of the sandwich. And I've got the overlap. Then I just need one more slice. There's 6 slices in here, so that works really well. Oops. I'm working on it, Snoop. I'm getting there, nearly there. Take the fat off again. There you go, Snoop. Straight edge to the edge of the sandwich. And last one, this one's for you, Soot. There it goes. There you go, Soot. Right, all gone. And again, straight edge to the edge of the sandwich. Beautiful. Right, and I'm going to put some salad cream on because I think I had Branston today. Yes, I did. I had Branston today, so I'm going to have salad cream for tomorrow. Then I've got my cheese on Wednesday, and I don't tend to put anything other than butter and cheese. And then I'll probably still have some ham for the Thursday. I probably won't have enough ham here for the Friday, but I've also got some trimmings in there. I think I've got chicken trimmings in there, so I can use some of those. Right, so that can go back in here. Put that there. Salad cream, guys. Cheers, that one. Here we go. Good boys. Oh, that was tight. Right, that's done. Right. 2. Right, that's the sandwiches done. I just need to find a bag or some cling film to wrap that up. So let's have a look, see if I've got a spare bread bag, otherwise I'll have to use some of my cling film. No sandwich bag, so it's cling film. But I need the cling film for my little sponges anyway, so it's not a problem. Why is that, please, Snoopers? I'll put the butter away as well while I'm thinking of it. There you go. Right, that's the sandwiches done, all wrapped up in cling film. And then I'll do my cakes. Right, they're my little muffins, my chocolate muffins. I'll put a yoghurt in there as well tomorrow in the morning before I go to work. Oh! Sorry guys. Oh, it gave me goose pimples. Oh. Right, do that. There. Two. Right, there's my little sponges. And that's the tuck box done as far as I'm going to go tonight. So washing's done, sandwiches are done, so that just leaves me the apple pies and custard to sort out, or ice cream. If Skippy would like some ice cream, I'll go and ask her. Right guys, I'm going to sign out now, see if I can sort out some supper, and then I shall speak to you guys when I do the boys putting them to bed. Okay, bye.